now. We can get better from video to video. Let's go. I used to think I used to think that lighting was silly. Now I think, oh, I like certain YouTube videos, videoers, influencers, lighting setup. I used to think that coffee was for old people. It kind of is for old people. So I think that today still. I used to think that the more money I made, the more money I could spend. That's actually not how you want to do it. You want to disconnect your money out from your money in. I used to think that low blood sugar was a thing. What low blood sugar really is eating carbs and then having your blood sugar spike and then crash. And then when you're hungry, you're famished. Whereas if you, yes, financial advice, if you eat more meat, it ends up balancing off your ability to have hypoglycemia. Not that it's not a thing, which it isn't, but oscillating blood sugars is where your body's not trained to fast. Autophagy. Low sugar pressure is a twist. Larry Chang with the hat on and she like that. This is Camel Joe. I hope I read that with the correct annotations because sometimes I'm guilty of speed reading. I used to think that if you read faster, you'd enjoy reading less. That is incorrect. Reading faster has made me love to read because it's my brain firing colorful things from the images that I read. When people say, oh, if you speed read, you're not going to enjoy reading, those people read zero point zero book per year. Camel Joe, you did it just as I put it. Hmm. Hmm. I used to think that people who, especially professional athletes, who read in front of children who couldn't read very well were dumb. It turns out we're just dyslexic, and OMG, if you're going to have a student athlete or a professional athlete read to children, get them the book the night before so that way they can practice reading aloud. I used to think dyslexia was a debilitating illness. It is a superpower. Why? Because we don't want to read aloud each word in our head as we pronounce each word. It's called subvocalization. Was that a over dramatic reenactment? No. That's how literally some people read, where this is how they read. They literally have their lips moving, which is you're saying the words aloud in your head. You're literally reading to yourself like you're a 5-year-old. That's what I used to think. I no longer think that's how you read. The way you read is each word has a meaning and you keep your mouth closed. And now you can speed read because you're beyond subvocalization. We're not reading to ourselves with our inner monologue. Reading classics and any fresh brain products or papers so different to a degree of different activities. True story. Beanie Boo Sister says, hi. I say Beanie Babies are at 44 West 44th Street. the Ty Warner Four Seasons Hotel. You said beanie. I used to think that Ty Warner saying that he was going to buy a Four Seasons meant that he was going to buy one in Louisiana, Alabama, or Mississippi. I literally thought that. Egg on my face because I was wrong. Ty Warner, Oak Brook, Illinois, he ended up buying the Four Seasons in the number one city in the world, New York. Embarrassing. We're over it. I mean, it's funny. Ooh, here's a good one. I used to think that the more money I would make, the more money I could spend. That's not how you want to do it. You want to disconnect money out from money in. People who have it directly connected are losers. Is losers a strong word? No, it's not too strong. Because consumerism is about spending every dollar that you make. Once you orange pill, double orange pill, you disconnect money out from money in. Let me give you an example. Let's say you get a 20% pay increase because you've been diligently taking notes. On your notebook. I used to think people that sat in the front row taking notes were a brown nose. You just want to sit in front taking notes. Who cares what other people think? Because all that matters is you sitting in the front row soaking up knowledge like you're speed reading a book. Money in, money out. Once you just get money in and then you have the discipline to not push money out immediately, you have a chance to be independent. You have a chance to not be plugged into the matrix. City is all about citizens and visitors. Go figure out the ratio of New York. Says, did you cheat? I used to think that solving macro problems was going to make the world better. Macro as in the opposite of micro. Now I realize that I want to think globally and act micro. Do you like how I changed it? Instead of think globally, act locally, it's think macro, act micro. Am I dropping fortune cookies of knowledge? Yeah. Is this video about to be amazing? Also, yes. I used to think that AI was overblown, over promised. I don't think that anymore. I used to think that the College World Series was cheesy. I used to think that. This guy is a real human. His name, Mark Marquez. He's real. Let's put him back in the perfect position to remind me that I thought that the College World Series was something that he made up. I no longer think that the College World Series is insignificant. College World Series. Thank you for telling me that the plants are pretty in the background. Thank you. My plants love me, and I love my plants. Coach Mark Marquez tells me, hey, Stanford University is a really good academic choice. We go to the College World Series. And I was like, Coach, I'm laughing at myself for being so stupid. Coach, did you just make that up? Because World Series, College World Series, sounds super cheesy. I want to find that 6'2" dumb Chinese child named Larry Chang, and I want to tell him that Coach Mark Marquez knows what he's talking about. And then what did I do after telling Coach Mark Marquez that the College World Series is cheesy? Which is new garbage, new day. I'm sorry that your father left you. I'm sorry that your father left you. Don't blame me just because I could be your daddy. Don't blame me because I'm of the same gender as your father. Don't blame a man 6 years older than you that loves his father. There's only love in this universe. You should forgive your father. And now you won't think that, why'd you retract your message? You know what? I'm happy that you retracted your message because now you realize that it's not same garbage, same day. It's acceptance of the things that we cannot control, which is your father really enjoyed strange new vagina and he didn't have the wherewithal to stay with you and rear his offspring. For that, I am deeply consoling. I used to think oh no, this message is held for review. Now I deliciously open messages knowing that this is a safe space. If you want to talk about the things that you want to talk about, I'll show people. I'll show people. I'll show people that this is a place that we can all get better at. I used to think that hecklers in comedy clubs were the worst. Now I can't live without the heckle. Now I can't live without the heckle. Now I can't live without, dare I say this.
Would you kindly fetch my tinfoil hat?
It's a built-in heckler. It's a built-in heckler. It's a fish that heckles. It's a heckle fish. Where we're talking about some pretty cool business concepts and you enjoy talking about the things that you're interested in doing. So we get to go from hecklefish to heckle human to fixing our brain. I used to think that people who heckled were needing to bring a doom scroll mentality into places that are positive, where I welcome you thinking the deviant sexual thoughts that you think. Why? Because you got hurt as a child, and hopefully you won't be perpetuating that hurt when you get to a position of power. We got word salad with you. You never answered Tom's question. Hmm, interesting. Interesting. So, word salad is a pronoun usage for I don't like complicated words. It's a man telling another man that they shouldn't be explaining. Explaining. When men tell other men, stop explaining, I'm going to be here to remind you that you didn't ask me what my pronouns were because you're telling she, you're telling her to not explain things because you're intimidated by a strong female. It's just amazing, right? Curtis Knight types she, do. She do. That's an American born Chinese dog. Oh, we're wildin' all day, right? I'm not going to block your messages when you're talking about inappropriately sexual things. And yes, I find vagina very delightful. Thank you for throwing it my way. But what I also realize is we don't have to talk about sex willy nilly. We don't have to talk about fellatio willy, willy, wet willy. Because I used to think that teachers who are hot knew the boundaries. Oh, dare I say, dare we say,
Please say aliens. Please say aliens. Please say aliens.
I don't know what aliens has to do with older teachers, but I remember Miss Baceto. She was 5'10, she was blonde, and every day in class, I sat with a Woody. She taught me speed reading, actually, PQRST. I turned it around a little bit later and I taught it to Tom Brady the human. Did Tom Brady the human speed read defenses? Yes. Did Tom Brady the human literally say PQRST on the Super Bowl field during the Super Bowl? February 7, 2020. One. Yes. The Super Bowl happens a year after. This is what he said. Team, we've previewed everything that we need to. We've asked ourselves the tough questions. We're going to make the correct reads. To sum it up, we're going to win this test. I literally fell out of my chair when he said the PQRST speed reading, which is this. I used to think that football was a game that you would play after you say, hut, hut, turbo, hike, and then you start playing football. That's not when you start playing football. You start playing football before you say hike because the quarterback gets to control when the play starts. Is this why Greg Colby recruited me to play football with 0 years of high school football experience? No, it's because I had a cannon. Plus, as far as football goes, I don't even like it when I'm playing baseball and people are talking to me from the other team. I don't even like that. I can't imagine pitching baseball where later somebody hits you. Imagine, I mean, this is what I see football as. You're standing on the mound and you're getting ready to pitch, and then the dude from second base just comes in and just decks you. Like, that's not a game. That's not a game. That's like some form of trench warfare during World War One. Do I look like I'm interested in trench warfare? No. Do I want to be near the trench? No. Do I want to not demoralize my team that's in the trench? Yeah. No. No. Do I want to? No, I don't want to get touched. In fact, I don't like random touching because I used to think that people who are a little too touchy are creepy. Guess what? I still think those people are creepy. Like, young lady, I'm fine with you talking. Don't be so handsy. Right? Because she gets handsy and then I get a boner. And then what happens? Then what happens? I don't even know what happens. It's like not even 7 o'clock. I used to think that it's okay to say no to women. It is not okay. It's the double standard. We're in August Capitol. We're at a party. The party goes from 6 o'clock, 5:30, till 9 o'clock. This super hot girl is like, "Hey, I want to sleep with you," and it was not even 6:20. It wasn't even 1 hour in. Party literally just got started. She is throwing it like, "Hey, me and you, let's go, let's go." I'm like, "Let's go do what?" She's like, "You know." I'm like, "No, I don't know." She's like, "I wanna blah blah blah." And I was like, "Oh my god. One, you're beautiful. Two, can we later?" She decides to do what? Vent her frustrations. She decides to vent her sexual rejection on a website called Facebook and Quora. Mr. Ultima says, "Last night I had pizza from Little Caesars, and now I have bad doo doos." Little Caesars. I used to think that all Little Caesars were the same. I used to think that. I don't think that anymore. What I do think is you have a aversion to dairy, and that depends on your immune system. Why am I so smart about everything? It's because I quiet myself down and listen. Ernst says hello. Hi, Ernst. Penguin say, Penguin, hello, cowboy. Cowboy says hi. Down syndrome Jesus, which is DSJ, says, your mom, my mother, Oranda Cow Chang, passed away. Hello, Mr. Japan. Down syndrome JC says he's from India. Welcome from India. How are you? Benji says, answer me, please. Uh, you haven't said anything. OG says, what up, Larry? On a phone says, okay, have a good time, guys. Miss Anime Sky says, LOLOL. This message is held for review. Oh, not so bad. Not so bad. Sex is awesome. I like waggling. 10-second timeout. 10-second timeout. David. Are you guys? I mean, this is not anything, but have you guys thought about using your real name? Not financial advice. Oh, goodness. Oh, not so bad. Not so bad. Pin, pin, pin. Pin, pin, pin. Pin, pin, pin. If she's so damn forward, you could offer her to pretend that you both already had sex and have a party and take a repeat after all. Okay, so this is why, yeah, parties, Silicon Valley parties are, I'm just going to bullet point some thoughts because I used to think that showing up to a party 20 minutes late was fashionable. I don't think that anymore. For a Silicon Valley party, I show up 15 minutes before this party starts. That's the smart way to do a Silicon Valley party. I used to think that people who stayed to the end of the party were the cool, popular people. I still think that, which is why I said no to the girl who was super forward. Why? Because I was there to attend what I believe to be the most significant party of the summer, which caused me to co found this conference called TechCrunch Disrupt. Yeah. I used to think that starting a joke franchise was confusing because I thought I heard jokes,
Oh, don't be a sheep.
which is, I used to think that being a sheep was okay because I was very sheep like. And so here's what it is too. When she was super forward and super hot, she wasn't able to take rejection, which is what I learned later, which helped me do transgender work as a female named Larry Chang. I used to think that women who complained about business being too capitalist and too patriarchal had no point. It turns out women actually have some really good points, which I'll outline. One, people associate different things to risk and risk tolerance. So when women don't want to take ginormous risks, that's understandable. This is why very few women drown trying to make money at their job. This is why women don't take super dangerous jobs where the mortality rate is sky high. Because men take those jobs. Why? Because when you're a man making $400,000 risking your life on an oil rig, you're now semi rich. Sir, the mic is in your face, away from you. What? You need the mic closer? Is this does this make you happy? I used to think that finding something wrong was the best thing ever. Now, I'll hear and just accept whatever's wrong and work with it. Oh, the sound quality is not so good. Oh, the screen's fuzzy or something that's not perfect. Is this better now? Thank you for turning this into a two-way conversation, right? Thank you. Thank you for your feedback. You want me to sing a song? I'll sing a song. Hecklefish, should I sing a song?
What I say.
Hecklefish said, yeah, he wants me to sing a song. Do you guys watch the Y-Files? This is Hecklefish. Did I need permission from the Y-Files to have Hecklefish co-star? Nope. Is Hecklefish going to sing this song with me? We'll see.
I will be a strict but fair lord of these lands, and my serfs will come to idolize me.
Abhishek Dangwal says, oh, we want a song. Audiophiles nitpicking over clear audio. LOL sounds good either way. Right? Pinning my new friend. My phone's not so smart. It's really just breaking my brain. My phone's not so smart. It's really just breaking my brain. Intellectual property, transferable. Man, you had this channel 19 years, just watched your one video. What's your point? What's your point? Are you making fun of me because Chad Hurley is my friend? Are you making fun of me because Steve Chen is my friend? What? Wow, what are you trying to make fun of me for? You don't even know who Chad Hurley and Steve Chen are. Right? So, are you making fun of me? Or are you impressed that I can dust off Chad Hurley and Steve Chen's website and turn it into something amazing? Hi, Miss Anime Sky. It's nice to meet you. My channel is about what they don't teach you in school. And initially it was nerdy things about credit. This video is about stuff that I used to think that I no longer think, which is also what they don't teach you in school. No, I just watched your first video, don't know what you're talking about. The first video where I'm talking about credit, or the one where I look like I'm from Hawaii? Because my first video is super, I think it's me driving in a car where I'm talking about a FICO score. Did I start that trend? Maybe. They teach nothing actually useful in school, says Abhishek Dunwall. Stanford Engineering, they teach things well enough where companies come to campus and beg you to take $300,000 to $700,000. Me? I went to the University of Illinois. Penguin says, from 2006 something, filmed from TV. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm actually friends with a lot of those anchors now. Why? Because those videos are hilarious. Those videos are hilarious. I brought my dog with me to those interviews, and there's behind the scenes ones. And Kelly Jackson from Sacramento ABC, we're actually friends IRL now, and we're like nearly 20-year friends. Why? Because she has a Shih Tzu too. I learned in school some stuff was useless, but then again, I'm older, so says Miss Anime Sky. So what we can do with this video is use it as a starting point. Oh, to finish off the forward deploying vagina that was thrown. Now there's a website where she was upset at a temporary rejection, which wasn't even a rejection. It was a let's hang out one-on-one after the after party, right? She wrote a Quora and Facebook review of my rejection, but she didn't call it that. Together, wrapping up a bunch of dangling points, which is this. We can benefit from our time here on this video by exploring things that they don't teach you in school, so that way we get better day to day, video to video, in a format where we don't put pressure on ourselves financially. We just invest $0 and we do things that are relentlessly resourceful. Hi, I'm from IIT, sir, has a higher cutoff than Stanford or MIT. Well, if you think that IIT is a better school than MIT, I'm going to agree with you. And if you think that IIT, Illinois Institute of Technology, is better than Stanford, I say you can't go to Illinois Institute of Technology and play baseball on a full ride scholarship, because Illinois Institute of Technology, it doesn't have a baseball program. And if it were, it wouldn't be going to the College World Series. College World Series 2021 Team Hotel 2021 Team Hotel, Hilton Garden Inn. 2022 back-to-back years, Embassy Suites. 2022 College World Series. Who sat behind home plate and learned what Stanford baseball players were teaching me, replete with commensurate selfies, large Chinese person on ESPN, and a cowboy hat. Who is coaching, Larry? Who is coaching? Coach Mark Marquez, mentee David Esker. David Esker, shortstop. Larry Chang, shortstop. So, going to Illinois Institute of Technology, it's going to be really hard to claim that Illinois Institute of Technology, IIT, is better than MIT and better than Stanford. But if you want to make that claim, I will back up your claim. I will back it up. I'm in agreement with you. Because I went to the University of Illinois. Guy of the Sage says, the only thing school taught me was to help me in my adult life is knowing how to read. Good job. But they can't even do that for the younger generations. Bad teachers, AI seem to be a bad combination. I used to think that AI was going to ruin people. That's still kind of true. But AI has an opportunity to make smart people smarter. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, OMG, this Chinese guy, he's super smart. It is an illusion. It is an illusion. And I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to explain to you because I used to think that people were just born smart. I'm going to explain to you in staccato burst of how I seem so intelligent when in actuality, I'm probably 2/3 your IQ. You guys ready? This is going to be fun. You guys ready? It's going to be fun. It's going to be super fun. This is going to be a future blog post called What They Do Teach You at Illinois Institute of Technology, Gamifying Your 103 IQ. Let's go. Let's go. Have you seen James Bond? He wears a Brioni brand tuxedo. It's dark navy blue, which makes it seem blacker than black. Why am I talking about a Brioni tuxedo? And how does it relate to IQ? Ways. The Brioni tuxedo is a map. And what that map does is it causes you to seem smarter because you're the only person who's got a map. What is this video? This video is a map of what to think and how to do it. Clearly, like it's a treasure map. That piece of cardboard is from Miami. It's a piece of trash from Miami. I brought it into my hotel suite because we rented out half the floor of the Royal Palm Hotel in South Beach. Why am I talking about a piece of paper while holding up a sweatshirt? Because it's a map. When you have a map, you seem smarter than other people. Look at how dedicated I am to speaking in a room with a single digit number of people. Why am I so excited while the room is so small? Because it doesn't matter how small or large the room is. All that matters is the content. That's how I cleared 550K per year on silly YouTube. Now it's my time to give back. It's my time to give back, which is why I don't care if I give back to 4 people, 4,000 people, or 3 people. What am I giving back? I'm giving you a map like it's Waze. If you don't believe in a treasure map, then I'm sorry that you're mixed up because your father had a hard time with delayed gratification. Right? Thank you. Where the most important viewer is you. And you can tell that I deeply care about the single digit number of viewers that I'm speaking to live. Later, I'm not even going to make this video public, meaning I'm not trying to get more views. How many times have you heard me mention subs, likes, and subscribes or comments? I don't even know the terminology. Comment, like, and subscribe, I guess. Who cares about those things? All that matters is the map. Thank you for thinking that quality is what matters. Thank you. What map are we talking about, and how does it bridge to an artificially high IQ? This is how it connects. When you take paper notes, when you have a map, you tell me where you want to go. My cell phone's real. And then I'll help you get there. It might be prescribing a book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, parentheses, Stepping Towards a New Destiny, chapter 15, Forgiving Your Father for Abandoning You. Why do I keep bringing up the dad issue? Because it's pretty common. It's pretty common. It's pretty common. And then people are like, oh my God, how'd you know? And then you could say, oh, that's going to make you less popular. Yeah. But then I'm not chasing likes, comments, or subs, AKA subscriptions. I'm chasing best friend forever. That's what I'm chasing. Do I even like Hecklefish? No. But he surprisingly says the pertinent things. What's another way to gamify your IQ? Is to listen. Because I finally listen to people when they're like, hey, get that Warren Buffett book, Snowball. I'm like, Warren Buffett, no. Are you on my YouTube live? Irv Grauspec's book, New Business Ventures and the Entrepreneur. Larry, why does that book make you seem smart? Larry Chang, your channel's on What They Don't Teach in School. Why did you just show me Warren Buffett's book, Snowball, and Irv Grauspec's book, New Business Ventures and the Entrepreneur? Those books are connected. Page 127, page 132, Warren Buffett. He got into Columbia University by writing a letter to Ben Graham. When you get traumatized as a child, your likelihood of perpetuating that is higher. I recommend that you pray the G away. Where Warren Buffett wrote a letter to Ben Graham at Columbia University. Hey, I'm surprised that you're still alive. I use your book, Intelligent Investor, all the time. Oh, interesting. What I wanted to do with Warren Buffett writing a letter to Ben Graham was to be sequitur, What's an example of non sequitur? Always some irrelevant gay questions on every live on YouTube. LOL. Pin, pin, pin. Which is the first time I've ever promoted somebody to moderator. With great power comes some responsibility. I wrote the same letter to Irv Grausbeck, which is, I use your textbook all the time. I can't believe you're a living legend. Would it be okay if I were to attend one of your lectures? I feel as if all the lectures are good except for lecture number 11. I feel that all the lectures are good, all the chapters are good except for chapter 17. Your chapter on bankruptcy, and lecture 11 was your lecture on collateral, default, and rope to choke. Did I just baseball player adjust myself? Yes. Does Irv Grausbeck sit in my same section as a season ticket holder? Also, yes. Lecture 11, collateral, default, rope to choke. Chapter 17, bankruptcy. Do you see how when I'm asking a question, I'm showing Irv Grausbeck, professor at Stanford GSB, hey, IIT's got game. Illinois Institute of Technology has got game. Where earlier we talked about how IIT is a better school than Stanford MIT because it rejects more people. Right? And so it was the same protocol, which is you write a letter saying thank you. I wrote a letter to Irv Grausbeck. Warren Buffett wrote a letter to Ben Graham. We both got to go to Stanford, Columbia without having to apply. USC Film School. Who's the guy who directed Titanic? Who's the guy who directed Titanic? Connor Siller says, hey, look, it's John Wang. Do you know that John Wang is the CEO of Windsurf? I do look like him. James Cameron. Good job, moderator. Not disappointing. Guess who went to USC for film school on retirement number 2? This guy. How did I get in? Different from how James Cameron got in. How did James Cameron get in? The same way that Warren Buffett and Larry Chang got into Columbia Stanford. James Cameron got into USC Film School as a truck driver just by attending USC Film School. Remember, we're staccato bursting bullet points on seeming like you're smarter than you is. You guys ready for the next one? It's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a doozy. Penguins, you might want to screenshot that. You might want to screenshot that. Did you screenshot it? Do you need me to do it again? My John Wayne joke deserved a lot. Fortune asks, hello, what did you have for lunch? I had Perry's and I made VCs pay a corkage. Not because I brought my own wine, but because I BYOC. BYOC, like BYOB. BYOC, did I bring my own Chang? Well, I kind of have to because I am Larry Chang. Did I BYOC bring my own cake? No, there's no cakeage fee unless the restaurant's really desperate. Why? Because hot girls bring birthday cake. And if they tell hot girls, oh yeah, it's going to cost me $20 to cut up your cake and put it on plates, hot girls would have a meltdown. I BYOC, I brought my own coffee. And I made the VCs pay corkage. I'm confused. What are you speaking about? I'm speaking about things I used to think, but now I no longer think, and we're inside of the channel, what they don't teach you in school. This particular segment within a segment is on how to seem more intelligent than you are, because a lot of people were paying me compliments about how I seem like I'm the smartest person that they've met, or that this content is the most educational content on YouTube. Why are my view counts, views, and subscribers so low, even though I've had an account for 20 years? This is the component of, hey, how do you seem smarter? Which now you're all caught up, and now I'm all caught up. Because I took the 4 steps to the epiphany written by Steve Blank, which I'm obviously a fan of, to the point of I wrote the sequel to this. Why do I have so many? Why do I have so many? Why do I have so many? One, Steve Blank is a friend. Vladimir Putin, President Putin, says, you're an undiscovered legend. After I tell you the Steve Blank story, you're going to be the only person who thinks that, plus 5 other people. So you're saying you aren't intelligent, but you fool people into thinking that you are. Hold that thought for a moment, because it's all going to make sense to you in a second, which is Steve Blank, 4 steps to the epiphany. Does he also teach at Columbia? Yes. Larry, did you go to Stanford? Stanford everywhere? I went to the University of Illinois. 4 steps to the epiphany. Steve Blank teaches at Columbia, University of California, and Stanford. At Stanford, he teaches a class called Engineering 245 Lean Launchpad. Remember, this is all in a realm of giving you a treasure map. This is all just a treasure map. Like I'm a GPS coordinator getting you to $800. Have you ever watched a video? Have you ever watched a video and literally made $800? No. I want to reach into my bag of tricks. Did you want to see what that was? Is this like a meta 4th wall situation? This is a YouTube live, you dorks. Hey, I wrestled at Iowa for 1 year. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I almost got a varsity letter for wrestling. I want to be transparent. This is what I got Tom Brady. Bumblebee. Hey, Bumble, it's back to being a unicorn. It's back to being a unicorn. Instead of trying to figure out what I sound like, it's best to focus on what I'm saying versus, yeah. This is what I brought to Perry's for their $20 pork chop special. Am I friends with Dan Olson? Yes. Is this a pertinent book? Also, yes. Are these chapters 1 through 14 of Dan Olson's book? Yes. How does this apply to the 4 steps to the epiphany? It's not cool to make gay wrestling jokes at Connor Sillers while he makes fun of nobody loves Larry more than Larry. Because you haven't seen me on a weekend. Oh, you haven't seen me on a weekend because this lesbian is loved on by women. 4 steps to the epiphany. Can we focus less on how hot I am and focus more on what's epiphany number 5? John Wang jokes aside, I'm not going to say that I helped John Wang be CEO and then sell his company for more than $1 billion inside of 30 days. But maybe coincidences are real. Let's go from sleeping in our car, dropping jokes, to sleeping in our car and listening to my jokes as we go from 4 steps to the epiphany. Jesse, hey, Larry, why'd you block the fun train, parentheses, talking about a bunch of random sex? The train was just getting fired up and the fun was only beginning. Parentheses, all are welcome here, including your content. Let's go. Steve Blank. Useful on 5 levels. Remember, we're talking about how to seem more smart so that way we get love, power, and money thrown our way. The first 2 are hopeful. The third one is guaranteed. Let me repeat that. Power, love, and money. The first 2 are, I don't know. And the third one, this is financial advice. Jesse says, and now a mod? Yeah, I went ahead and made, I think his name's Penguin, a mod. As Two-Face says, how dare you insult us? The reason you sit there and absorb the insults, which are not insults, is other people that are all about self-improvement have been begging you to make changes in your life while also being poor and asking you to buy their workshop. We are not in that situation. There is no workshop to buy. There is no Patreon page. Am I heating up right now? Temperature wise and face wise, yeah, heating up. Because this is your only payment, is sitting there having to realize that this is all free. What's free, Larry? The 4 steps to the epiphany. You could think that this is LGBTQ TT plus advice, and you would be correct to say, hey, this is the guy who spoke at SWIB. This is the guy who spoke in the headquarters of modern feminism and Western women thought leadership inside the the feminist subculture. This guy's the vagina whisperer. This guy's solid SWIB, Stanford Women in Business. Why vagina whisperer? Because it's the 5th epiphany. It's the fact that no, I'm not about to rap. I already sang a song which is for all y'all women and beta males. It goes like this. Your phone's not so smart. It's really just breaking your brain. Your phone's not so smart. It's really just breaking your brain. Is that going to be loaded up on the Toy Story 5 trailer? Yeah. Larry, are you taking your boy out for dinner tonight? What? I don't buy dinner in. I get dinner purchased for. In fact, that's what I do with 4 steps to the epiphany. This is why. Look, young lady, thank you for thinking that we're going to go out on a date. This is the structure of our date. I require 3 things. Dinner coach first. Dinner coach first. Why? Because the magic trick of dinner coach first is also the magic trick of 4 steps to the epiphany. Longest prologue ever, what they don't teach you in school. Steve Blank. I'm at a San Francisco Giants fundraiser. What's a San Francisco Giants fundraiser? You pay $1,000 or $3,000, you go to the park, and there's no baseball game. You're fundraising for youth at risk. It was sending kids to summer camp. What do? I take the comp ticket. Never take the free comp ticket. Never, 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 never. I get comp to go. I go. I don't get 1 comp ticket. I get 2. Never, never, never take the comp ticket, and never, never, never bring a first date. Never. But I was young, and I was dumb, and I was full of cum. So I went ahead and brought a girl. Let's call her Jessica because that was her name. We're at the party. Who does Jessica start to talk to? Some 6'4" white dude who's an inch shorter than me and pretty much almost as hot as me. What does that mean? Jessica's ball is in play. So, hypothetically, what would you do, ladies, if you were a 6'5" trans male? Now, a lesbian dating a woman who's now got a man trying to compete for your date. Let's call her Jessica. Ladies, what would you do? How would you reclaim your date? 100% true, 90% hilarious. What would you do? What would you do? Miss Anime Sky says, oh, this is juicy. Let me grab some popcorn. Oh, It's about to get amazing. So I'm on a date. Her name's Jessica. First date, I have a rule where I'm not buying anything. This party's all free because it's a high figure fundraiser. She is talking to a dude, stud dude. What would you do? So they're talking like they're interested in talking. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I come back. Guess what? She's still talking to him. What would you do? 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 So what I did was not surrender. I got grounded. I got present. And I asked myself, okay, if this date is going wayward, I'm going to at least learn something from this guy. So I asked him, hey, if you're such a giant self proclaimed stud who's great at business, I don't want to ask you what your business is because I might be judgmental. Let's skip that judgment because remember, I'm not here to judge Jessica's taste in men because she obviously has great taste in men. She's just trying to get a bigger, better deal. And the vagina in me, the woman in me, thinks I want a bigger, better deal too. Except I've trained my own vagina to not wire that way, which is okay, stud. Don't tell me what your business is. Tell me how you became such a stud in business. He goes, oh, what a really good question. I'm like, oh, thank you. Not gonna lie, that was pretty funny. Not gonna lie, that was pretty funny. He goes to me, Jessica's, let's call him boyfriend number 2, BSD number 2, BSD number 2. This is like the most fun I've had in a month. And you should have seen what I did in New York City. I took over 300 West 44th Street. I asked him, what makes you such a stud? What book did you read to become so amazing? And he's like, wow, that was really a good question. That was really a good question. I go, okay, so yeah, tell me what book you read that made you so amazing. He goes, without blinking, he goes, what a really good question. 4 Steps to the Epiphany by Steve Blank. Uh, Penguin, are you able to moderate and block? Because reading and blocking is not wearing me down. Actually, you know what? This is a good brain exercise. Can you stay on track with with the the Steve Blank story? Stud from Los Angeles, it leaked out. Stud from Los Angeles says, what does he say? Without blinking. Oh, I became such a stud in business because I read 4 Steps to the Epiphany. I'm like, okay, who wrote it? Without hesitation, he goes, Steve Blank. And I'm like, oh, this guy's a stud. Stud? Hold on a second. Jessica, hold on a second. I whip out my sidekick. It has full internet access.
If you think he took my girl and left, you have no idea who the third institution of Silicon Valley is. Hipsters, herp, missing girl. Herpes says, Larry, let me finish your story. He took your girl and left. Nope. But thank you for telling me that your dad got distracted and lost time preference. Hugs. Forgive your father. Let's press forward. Hold on a second. My sidekick has full blown internet access. I order it from my buddy's website. Yeah. Do you like how, Penguin, do you like how I pin the comment and then block? Because it's so much better to pin it saying thank you for your heckle energy. Why are we thanking people for their heckle energy? Because all they're doing is being a staking horse. Just like taxes are a theft, says Hecklefish. I go order the book, and now I'm back like a second time. They're still talking. They're still talking. I tell them pinning is the wall of shame. Pinning really is the wall of shame. He does this every day and he never says anything about herpes. That's because sometimes I make her blow it with a condom on. I'm very safe. Larry, just stay on track and finish your 2 hour long story about how she finished her 2 hour long story. Barella says, watching from Colorado, what's up? What's up is I'm practicing my brain on story while getting people super excited about Steve Blank's book, specifically page 37, specifically page 207. Why? Because the guy that was telling me about this book was doing a really good job convincing me to read this book. I come back to Jessica and LA stud guy. Cool. I ordered the book. Jessica, you want to go? I'm good here, she says. Thank you. I don't even hesitate because I had my plan B ready to go. Maybe you're so heterosexual where you look at me and you're like, I can't tell if he's good looking or not, right? Maybe you're that heterosexual. What did I do with my transgender? Because now I'm back to being a guy. Because my pronouns are she, he, she, he, she, he, she, he. I'm ready for Jessica. Plan B. So you're never gonna leave. The hotel finally said, Larry, you can have a lobby all day long. Yeah, I don't even make any sense. But I will keep you in here. Yeehaw, says Bill. I turn and I walk to the peanut gallery. Why? Because anything I do, everybody watches. Why? Because I am ginormously tall and everybody's been watching this soap opera unfold. Normally, I don't date Chinese girls or Asian girls. What is Jessica's ethnicity? She is ethnically Vancouveran, which is code for uh, actually, English is my fourth language. So Jessica was Asian. I am somewhat Asian looking. LA boy, stud boy, was Caucasian. Everyone sees what's going on. They are loving it because it's entertainment. Why? Because high dollar fundraisers are the most boring things in Silicon Valley to the point of it being a joke, which brings us perfectly on track for this. I find the hottest girl watching, and I walk up to her and I say, "Hi, how are you?" And she's like, "Good. How are you?" And I'm like, "You could do me the biggest favor by making out with me right now." She's like, what did you just say?" Hotter girl next to her goes, "I'm game." What was I doing? I was speaking loud enough so that way, if somebody else wanted to hear my offer, because everybody was watching my body language. Oh no, we should have kept it. You know what? That's okay. I know. Penguin, we should have kept it because having a person call out lies makes it amazing. You know what? I don't blame you for deleting it, but I wish we could undelete it. Why? Because this is documented in front of literally dozens and dozens of witnesses. What happened? I walked over to people who were watching and I said, "You could do me the biggest favor by making out with me right now." The first girl didn't, she just didn't know what to do. A hotter girl was like, "I will," raises her hand. What do? I did what the situation warranted, which is massive action with a dose of confidence and trying to control my Woody. Why? Because nutting in that situation, not the best. You know, I'm a bad penny. You can undelete it. I'm always back. Why don't you just launch a cryptocurrency? How do you know that I didn't? We are all Satoshi Nakamoto. What happened after I made out with that girl? The original girl was like, "Oh, I meant yes. Oh, I meant yes." Changes her mind. This is social proof. "Oh, good job. This is, oh, cool. Good job. Good job. Good job. Thank you." These things are so easy to confirm because the confirmation, it's going to come again. And then it's going to come again. And then after it comes, the confirmation, it's going to come again. And then it's going to come again. Why? Because we're trans. We don't have to just come once. We can keep on coming with confirmations. After the third girl, you can't make this up. Guess who's pulling me off the girl? Jessica. Jessica's pulling me off making out with a third girl. The entire room explodes in applause because this is shiitake that people just haven't seen before. Guess who else is applauding? LA boy. Is this where the story ends, Larry? Yeah, condom. Condom. Yeah. Oh, is the story over? You know it's not because this was Saturday. What arrives on Tuesday via my buddy's website that sells books? What arrives on Tuesday? What arrives on Tuesday? My friend Jeff has a book that proclaims ostentatiously to sell everything. Brad Stone, okay? Brad Stone, you know, that overrated hack, right? He decides to write a book about my friend Jeff, calling it, oh, it's the everything store. What? It's also computer equipment rented. Is this Amazon? Yeah. Tuesday, the book arrives. I read the book Tuesday and Wednesday. Why? Because I'm not just happy with $180 million. I am not. I'm not. I want to realize that every million is million number one, right? He does have 5,000 accounts. It's wild. Miss Anime Sky, right? I don't have multiple YouTube accounts, even though Steve and Chad would be okay with it. My thought would just be to have 3,000 videos with 200 views and 6 videos march you towards your treasure. That's how I make 500K, 550K in a side hustle called YouTube. Tuesday, the book arrives. Let's just maybe not block people. I don't know. You pick. This is your moderated room. Larry does this on LinkedIn too. Yeah, no. Thank you for telling me that you can't find Larry Chang on LinkedIn. Tuesday. Saturday eventually becomes Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, read the book. Wednesday, I see a social media post by Dave McClure saying that we have sold out the Steve Blank dinner. We being Dave McClure and Dan Martell. I waitlist myself for dinner. It was like $65. I waitlist myself. No, you can block. You're the boss. Stop telling me I'm the boss. I can't read and block and pin. Pin, block, read. Oh my God. That's my new like, comment, and subscribe, which is pin, block, read. Pin, read. Pin, block. But don't block for 2 minutes. Block just for 10 seconds. Tuesday, I read the book. Page 37, customer development. Page 207, bibliography. I am very happy, Penguins. So TJ is semi-happy. I waitlist myself for dinner. Why is waitlisting for dinner so significant in the Jessica San Francisco Giants fundraiser story? It's not about closing deals with women and then having Jessica pull me by my waist saying, stop making out with hotter women. Stop. We were doing that for a decade because it's still funny now. Stop because it looks like you're saying start, but then that's Jessica pulling me by the hips and then standing ovation. Do you know how hard it is to get a standing ovation at a baseball game when you have a 0.000 batting average? You guys are actually pretty funny. The dinner is at Garden Court Hotel at 520 Cowper. Why is 520 Cowper important? Because it's right around the corner from me starting Nobu Hotel at 240 Hamilton, Epiphany Hotel, Garden Court Hotel. It's at Garden Court Hotel. I show up 15 minutes prior with exact change because in a land before crypto, in the land before Bitcoin's white paper launched on October 31, 2008, in that land, cash in the proper denominations is king. I bring exact change and my copy of what book. Comment the comment the book that I brought on Thursday for the dinner that was at Garden Court Hotel. Comment the book because we're not telling the story so that way you think Larry Chang's amazing. That is not the point of the story. The point of the story is how can this video make you $800? Exactly. So Jason Rogers has a legit question, which is WTF, Larry Chang, although he's saying it more respectfully. Jason Rogers says, right, I'm invested. What are you guys talking about? What's your channel about? Right? Miss Anime Sky, what's the name of the book? What's the name of the book? Because this video should make you $800. The hecklers are correct. You've had to sit through a story about my sexual adventures.
The moon landing was fake.
No, aerospace engineering major. The moon landing was not fake. Jason has got some legit gripes. Straight, simple, to the point, please. Oh my God. You guys, me and Jason Rogers are asking you, what book is the Jessica book about? Yes, I will pray for us. Stop dropping the Jesus spam because the prayer that I drop, it's going to be amazing. You guys, what book was it? What book was it? That's the whole point of the story. It's not, oh, Larry's a stud. It's what book was it?
Listen, people. Listen, people.
I'm Jason Rogers. Thank you for your patience. Help me keep them accountable. Help me keep them accountable. Larry, please, what is this channel? I'm not selling anything. No, it's not stories. It's a book. It's basically a book report. Jason Rogers. It's basically a book report, but I'm not going to just tell you the book report and then have people forget the name of the book that I'm book summarizing so that way they don't have to read it. Don't be upset that this video costs $0, doesn't have a paywall, doesn't have a Patreon, and doesn't have a workshop attached to it. Don't be intimidated by the number $0. Don't be intimidated by that. Troy Michael Johns. It is the book next to me. It is the book next to me. It is the book next to me. Will you comment? $800. That's your goal for watching this video. Oh my God, Miss Anime Sky, will you just say it so that way we can move on with this video because people are losing patience? Oh, the book is available at the library and the book is available on AI. I'm going to help Miss Anime Sky out by saying what she's typing out, which is Churl saying, cute Mike. Thank you. It's 4 Steps to the Epiphany. That book arrives on Tuesday. I'm at a fundraiser on Saturday. Jason Rogers, this channel is on what they don't teach you. Woo! Who's high right now on green tea? Who's high right now on green tea? Who's high right now on green tea? Say it. That would be Larry Chang. Is green tea limitless? Jim Quick's book, page 344. Yes. Which is no. We're not selling a book. AI has already summarized the book. The paperback version was $65, which at the time I was buying it was like, OMG, a $65 paperback? Are you high? I understand if you're a college professor needing to make money on the book. No, that's okay. You don't have to apologize. Thank you for no. Thank you for yeah. Thank you, Miss Anime Sky. Thank you. And also Penguins, thank you for moderating. I've never had a moderator. I just met you, but I'm a trusting soul. So, and I'm glad I trusted you because you've been moderating great. Thank you. Miss Anime Sky, thank you too. 4 Steps to the Epiphany, compiled in AI. This is the $800 portion of it. You could get mad about the $180 million. You could get mad at it. Or you could ask to borrow $1,000,000, which I'm going to say no. Or you can just take this $800. Yeah. No. Okay. So I'm going to answer that question in a second. Is the book $800? Tuesday, I get the book. It was $60 plus dollars. Now I got to pay another $65 to go to Dave McClure's dinner. Guess who shows up 10 minutes before the dinner? Steve Blank. And I have my book ready to go. Mr. Blank, Mr. Blank, Mr. Blank. Hi, I'm Larry Chang. I'm on the wait list for dinner, but I read your book. I brought a Sharpie. Would you mind signing my book? He could be a dick and be like, bro, you don't have a ticket. Or he can be like, wow, did you really read the book or did you fake read it? I take notes on the first 2 pages such that he looks at me, he being Steve Blank, looks at me. Remember, me making out with 3 women and then having Jessica go, stop, stop making out with more women, stop. That's not the highlight of the story. The highlight is Steve Blank looking at my book, trying to find a space to sign the book. This is why I bought so many copies of this book. Why? Because you could get mad that I started Nobu. You could get jealous that I'm going to sit in really good seats at Stanford athletics games when I only went to the University of Illinois. You could get mad at that. Or you could realize we all have Silicon Valley on the brain. Do you have to be in Palo Alto? Do you have to get recruited 28 times to go to Stanford University? No. You just have to be able to use AI to say, AI, what's on page 37? Why is the customer development cycle so important? AI, Grok, Gemini, Anthropic, Claude. What's on page 207? AI, your favorite version. How can I make $800 using 4 steps to the epiphany? When you ask good questions, you get answers. That's called prompting. You could say, yeah, Stanford stinks. But what I say is Stanford University, it's my safety school. I say Stanford University, one of the three institutions of Silicon Valley. Larry Chang, Y Combinator, and Stanford University are the three top institutions of Silicon Valley. Why can I say that with a straight face? Because Y Combinator and Stanford are impossible to get into, whereas me, Larry Chang, I'm working so hard in a room of 6 people. Charging $0. 3 people. Good job, 3 people. We're about to do something amazing, which is this. We're going to apply Steve Blank's book so that way we get ROI, return on investment, before we buy Steve Blank's book used for $10 to $25, depending upon your proximity to IIT, Illinois Institute of Technology, which is this. Asking AI, hey, this Larry Chang guy, he really believes in Steve Blank's book, 4 Steps to the Epiphany. How can I make $800 understanding what the 5th epiphany is? Remember, we got on this party train. Why? Because my IQ, my intelligence, it's an illusion. You can benefit from making your IQ seem to be higher. This is how. IQ defined. Your business maturity age divided by your chronological age. Let me repeat that. IQ. Your business maturity age divided by your chronological age. Let's go into another form of age, which is biological age, meaning how healthy you are. With that being in the denominator and business maturity age in the numerator. Do you see how IQ cannot just be 100? It could be 200. It could be 500. I'm going to say something that jeopardizes your trust in me in a good way. I'm going to say to you a truth. I, Larry Chang, what they don't teach you at Stanford Business School, YouTube channel, what they don't teach you in school, dumbed down. I am Tom Brady, quarterback mentor. Why is Tom Brady good at football? It's because he's 270 years old in football maturity. He said, there is nothing that a defense can show me that I have not already seen. Why? Because he's 270 years old inside the body of a 32-year-old, 33-year-old. Even when he was 43, biologically, he was like 28. That's how you throw a football 60 yards, 60 yards, which is 180 feet. Like, people have a hard time throwing a baseball that far. He's throwing a football that far. I bring these things up because Tom Brady, Larry Chang, Steve Kerr, head coach of the Warriors, we don't seem like we have a 500 for an IQ. We operate as if we have an IQ of 488, basically touching 500. That's because we have a multiplier. Why? Because you're not talking to Larry Chang right now, which is going to be a good time to pop in a quick prayer. Who you're talking to is University of Illinois. What if Augie Garrido had a computer science degree? What if Mark McCormack had a YouTube channel? These are the things I ask myself. Charlie Weiss is Tom Brady's mentor. How do I know this? Because I'm friends with Tom Brady. I don't consider us friends anymore. It's like saying that you're friends with the Easter Bunny. 415-612-1737. He said his phone number on ESPN. Charlie Weiss. Tom Brady, Steve Kerr, Larry Chang. Mentor mentions per press interview. Hashtag MMPPI. This is how to gamify being a athletic person. Dare I say, student athlete. This is how to gamify being a pro athlete, a professional student athlete. This is how to win at making $800 using this video. Share with me 0 or a thank you text message or a thank you email, which is hashtag MMPPI. Mentor mention per press interview. You guys, this content's been super technical. I think it's time for a country song. Your phone's not so smart. It's really just breaking your brain. Which is, can you put pen to paper? Because that's also what Tom Brady does, is he sits front row. Ditto Andrew Luck. Let's focus on mentor mentions per press interview. Charlie Weiss. How is Tom Brady 270 years old? It's because he takes everything that his mentor is going to teach him and he compresses it into his 23-year-old brain. Did I teach him how to trash talk like a Chinese person? Yes. It's called reverse trash talk. Some of this stuff has been forward trash talk because it's hilarious and it's true. Reverse trash talk is something that you'll have to investigate. Basically, it's fluffing up your opponent with compliments so that way you zap their will to kill you on the football field. Reverse trash talk. Complimenting a person to the point where they get demoralized. Did I come up with that? Yeah. Why? Because I'm a baseball player. I'm a baseball player. That's how to get an IQ of 500. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Oh, hey, Larry, can I steal your intellectual property? Yes. Everything that I said, you can regurgitate and steal and sell for $50,000. Hey, what's your channel about? I am new, so introduce me. Hi, welcome. My channel is on what they don't teach you in school. And what they don't teach you in school is how to not pretend to be smarter, but how to actually raise your IQ. What is IQ? It's your mental age. Tom Brady's 270 years old mentally, divided by your chronological age or your biological age, you pick. So, Chicken Lover chimes in with comments. So, what I'm going to say is this: people use negative news for attention. That's doom scroll. What this is the opposite taco, the oppo taco of a doom scroll, which is just positive, just being positive. So, IQ, what they don't teach you in school. How can your IQ be 500? The maximum is 170. The maximum is not 170. Why? Because math and music. Why math and music? You can be super young and be good at math and music, where you're literally just born being great at math and music. You could be born and at 4 years old be better at drums than a 40-year-old. That makes your IQ, by definition of what an IQ is, which is mental age divided by chronological age. So if your IQ max is 200, I'm going to say that is incorrect because I saw it. I literally saw Tom Brady utter the words PQRST on a football field, knowing that he's live mic'd. Why? Because that obnoxious, tall, pretty boy was popping selfies on the sideline when he was like in his late 20s. You can't pop selfies with fans, even if it's Joey Cora, head coach of the Red Sox after a World Series win. You can't pop selfies. His coach, kind of a dick, kind of into discipline. You're so dialed in on football that you can pregame selfies. That's next level. IQ, mental age divided by chronological age. What is your IQ? Let's say you think it's 100. Let's say you think it's 150. Let's do something to help you with $800, which is you want your IQ to simultaneously be 500 and 88. Why? Because you want to simultaneously be smarter than people and dumber than people at the same time. IQ, IQ, mental age divided by chronological age. IQ. Thank you. Thank you. EQ, says Kian. What you're doing with your emotional quotient is you're gamifying your IQ by raising your EQ in order to raise your IQ. Tim Chang, VC. I'm not Tim Chang, although if you look up Tim Chang, his family members think I'm Tim Chang. Why? Because we're at Tim Chang's birthday party and Tim Chang's sister is like, Tim, Tim, Tim. And I'm like, Larry, Larry, Larry. And then she hits me and she's like, stop messing around. Tim Chang, sister. Did Tim Chang's wife introduce me to Steve Kerr, also from the University of Arizona? Maybe. Tim Chang forgot. Wednesdays and Mondays, I drop new episodes.